Hello, I'm Scott Moore, Associate Professor at Michigan's Ross School of Business. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of my absolute favorite technologies and tools for keeping up with information, RSS feeds. Not going to talk too much about the software, but going to talk about generally what it is and why you should use it. I think we can all agree that the internet is huge and it's still growing. Just to give a little bit of meat to those bones, in 2012, by one count, there were 45 billion pages on the internet. I happen to think that that's probably an undercount, but, who am I to say? At the end of 2011, there were 555 million websites, and that's 300 million more than there were in the previous year. There are 95.5 million registered .com sites. And I had no idea about this one. There are 324 top-level domains in 2012. 324. Who knew? In any case, internet's huge. You can't hope to keep up with it. You certainly have little or no time to spare. There's pretty much no doubt there either. You have tons of work to do, and you have little or no time to do it. You barely have time to go to class. That's why this one's so good. The question you should be asking is, how can you get other people to do the research for you? That's the key. It's not work harder, and it's not work longer. It's get other people to do your work for you. What I would love to be the result of this video is that you end up getting to use and taking advantage of all the experts in the field that you're looking for, and then a bunch of automated tools, or just one or two really good ones, to bring that information to you. Real soon, I'm going to want you to learn how to use RSS and its associated tools to accomplish all this. What's great is that we don't have to wait for the right technology to be invented or created or modified or made better. RSS is the right tool for this problem. Okay, so let's take a look at this HTML document. It's a bunch of HTML tags. Here's an anchor, points to this address. Here's some text within a paragraph. All right, so this is what's called unstructured text. It's real hard for a machine to look at this and to make sense of what it is. What is this paragraph about? Why is this italicized? Okay, we have a link here. What does that do for us? What is it pointing to? Okay, so this is unstructured. We as people, when it's rendered as an HTML page, we can read it, good on us. But the computer, not so good. So there's an alternative to this representation known as RSS. This is a text-based, XML-based language. So XML is a general-purpose document structuring rule set. RSS follows that XML language specification. So XML is sort of the more general language specification. RSS is one particular language. Okay? So here this says, all right, we have one item here. We have this thing, and it's called a title. And you and I know that it's, guess what? A title. And so we can program computer programs on iPads, Androids, Macs, PCs, whatever it is, to do title-like things with this text right here. Okay, so this is a link. This is a description of this thing. This is the date it was published. Notice that it's in a certain representation format that I'm sure has been agreed upon. That this would be a day, this would be date, blah, 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 all the way through. Okay, so this probably isn't some random kind of representation of the publication date. And so here we'll have a whole long set of these different items, different titles, different links, different descriptions, different publication dates. And this whole thing would be an RSS feed. So the reason RSS is such a great tool for us to use is that it's an open. That means we all sort of can look at this standard and agree. This is the standard right here. Relatively mature. It's been around for, I don't know, 15, 20 plus years. Been around a long time. And it's been developed expressly for the purpose of tracking websites and changes to the websites. And I've talked about there being one standard, but there's actually a series of standards. It started off with this RSS 09, and then it's moved on to version 1.0, and now it's moved on to 2. Whatever. Well, there's also a competing standard called Atom 1.0 right now. Basically, for you and me, whatever. Whatever. Just if you can get a feed, your software that you choose will more than likely work with all these different standards. So just be happy that someone else has done this work for you. So now I want to take you through this process of getting you to understand why you'll want to use what's called an RSS aggregator and what it particularly is. So here we have the internet. And there's a bunch of servers. There's somewhere around a couple billion of these out there. So I left a couple out of my diagram. Now there's you sitting here on your computer or your tablet or your phone or whatever with a browser and your RSS account name over here. Somewhere else out there is an RSS aggregator. Let's say, just to give it a random name, Google Reader. Okay, let's just call it that. RSS account name, and it's a list of RSS feeds that you want to look at. Okay, what does that mean? Well, normally, if you had websites that you wanted to check, you would go out and look at this one. This could be ESPN, this could be New York Times, this could be some photography site, this could be some, I don't know what. Could be a whole bunch of these things. And to check what's going on those sites every day, you would have to go to each one of those websites. All right? So you don't want to do that. On each one of these sites are sort of the most recent changes that they've made on that site. It could be some news article, could be a blog post that's been written, whatever. And instead of you having to go to each one of those individual servers, well, the way it's set up is these servers make sure that when they have an update, it's sent to that RSS aggregator. And since you have under your name a list of specific RSS feeds that you follow, this aggregator will bring together all those documents for you and organized for you and several 100 million other people, so that when you go from your browser and log on to this site, it'll have all those documents there for you in one place. That rocks. Okay, that's just super. Saves so much time, saves so much energy. Attention is the big thing. Okay, you don't have to think about it. You just go to this one site, and there it is for you. So the thing that makes this all work is, like I said, the standard. And having a common standard means tools can be built on that. So you start with this RSS standard, and remember it could be the Atom standard or some version of the RSS standard. Doesn't matter. Once you have the standard, then software tools can be written to that standard. So then you personally, as a programmer, don't care about the standard. You just care about the tools that use the standard. Then site development tools like Drupal on my site, that I use for my site, that gets the RSS tools get integrated into that. So then I just say, all right, I'm using Drupal or Joomla or whatever it might be, and then I build a site on top of that, And then truly, with 1 or 2 clicks, you can then say, all right, I have an RSS feed. That's it. That's all I did. I worked for about 30 seconds to make sure that I had an RSS feed on my site. Right? So what am I going to do? Develop my own standard for disseminating documents? No, I don't think so. Okay. No, not going to happen. So having the standard leads to the tools, leads to the site development tools, leads to websites that have RSS feeds, and we all benefit. So, one of the benefits of all this technology is that lots of relatively mature tools have appeared for working with RSS feeds. To start with, you're going to need a feed reader. And you all, since we are have access to Google Apps, have access to the web-based Google Reader. That's pretty much wiped out all the other ones out there that were competing with it in previous years. It's really not worth it to look at any other web-based feed reader other than Google Reader. But then there are app-based readers. Feedly, Pulse, Flipboard, those are all pretty nice. Feedly is particularly nice because it works on in either Chrome or Firefox extensions. So you can just slip it in there. It also has an app on Android, and it has an app on iOS devices. And it's the one I use, and I highly recommend. I also use Pulse and Flipboard, but I tend to use those for different reasons. But to read RSS feeds, I use Feedly, and again, I highly recommend it. It's integrated with Google Reader in several ways, so that makes it even better. Okay. To find feeds that you want to read, generally, first of all, just check the sites that you like going to all the time anyway. Almost assuredly, they'll have RSS feeds associated with them. But then besides that, you'll want to go to RSS or blog search tools. So that would be the leading ones right now are Technorati, guess what, Google Blog Search, IceRocket, and either Regator or Regator. I have no idea what to say. Since their mascot is a gator, I figure it's Regator. Okay, so we'll be checking these out this semester. Once you get to using these tools, it'll give you a way to multiply your efforts. Really, remember, you don't want to work harder and you don't want to work longer. You want other people to look for you. So by what you're doing is by defining these searches in RSS feeds, you're finding other people who are interested in the same topics that you are, and they're out there looking for you. And then when they've written something, it comes to you without you doing anything else. Okay, so like this is a big deal. This is how you can somehow keep your finger on the pulse of things that are going on out there. It's not you paying attention to all this stuff. It's other people who you're paying attention to who are paying attention to all this other stuff. Okay, so RSS feeds, blog search tools help you do that. Okay, that's why I love these things. All right, and I hope you will learn to too. Helps you save time, right? You're not out there having to go to this website, website 963, website 964, and so on. It's coming to you. Awesome. Helps you manage your attention. You don't have to remember, which website should I go to? Have I gone there today? I have no idea. No, you don't have to do that. Go to your feed reader. Check it out. It's one big list. There it is. You don't have to worry about all those others. By doing that, it helps you find information. Certainly, it gets brought to you once you find the feed. And then they are out there looking for you. And they bring the information to you. So you don't have to go look for it in the first place. It's coming to you. So my big question for the day is, will students make the effort to learn how to use these RSS tools and get all these benefits? Certainly it's the case that students, and me, professors too, I'm implicated too, are not as up to date with information as you and I think I am. What I would love is that you learn how to use RSS and all the associated tools. Then you get the information, and I do too, you get the information with as little work as possible. Golden, okay? That's what we're looking for. And yes, RSS feeds and tools are one of the best chances to make sure that you're not out there saying, help me. You'll be able to take care of the information that you need, and it gets to you when you need it. Good luck. Until next time. Hello, I'm Scott Moore, Associate Professor at Michigan's... Oh, my Lord. Things just suck. What I would love for